So for some reason it's not.
Meeting you where you are. The meaning behind the slogan is that we meet the community where they are on their journey towards holistic health, a plant-based lifestyle, and veganism, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. We do this through people, food, events, and culture. Our 6 pillars are birth, eating, education, empowerment, enlightenment, and events. We are Black Veg Society.
Thank you for tuning in to Naijha Speaks. I'm Naijha Wright Brown, your host, and I'm here to help you. So let me help you find your vegan soul through food, people, events, and culture. This month we are Veganuary. Here is the Baltimore Proclamation, if you can see it, signed by Mayor Brandon Scott. The perfect month to go vegan. New year, new you. And to discuss what this all means, welcome Sandra Hungate, Director of the United States Operations. Is that correct?
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much for having me, Naijha. And how exciting that you have the proclamation printed with you there. So cool.
Yes. So let's talk about it. What is Veganuary? And I'll bring up the website as you're explaining.
Yeah, so Veganuary is a fun, welcoming, non-judgmental challenge to try eating vegan for the month of January. We get to encourage people all around the world to sign up, and we also do corporate engagement where we reach out to businesses to ask them to add more vegan options, like retailers, restaurants, brands, adding menu items or adding product launches, and then even influencers to add more recipes. And we even have celebs that support every year and also encourage their followers and tell everyone why they are doing Veganuary, why they're vegan. And then even some companies are running this program as a workplace challenge. So there's companies, the staff, someone on the staff introduces this and they invite everyone to participate and have potlucks and have events around this, which is super, super exciting. I love that you're showing the website. Thanks for that. So you can see it's super easy to sign up there. And it shows you basically all the things you get when you sign up. Everything is free. As soon as you sign up, you can choose when to start. And then you receive these different digital cookbooks and then 31 coaching emails, basically daily, tips and tricks on how to try vegan, what are the basics, what to eat, how to bake, how to find vegan options when you go out. Lots and lots of information, but it's always short and sweet so that everyone can take it a step at a time.
I love it. The site is wonderful, and I see the stats here very important to look at the impact that Veganuary has been making internationally. It was around the world, and you are just dealing with the U.S., and we'll talk about that in a minute. But what is your vegan story?
My vegan story is also international, kind of like Veganuary. So I grew up in France, and meats and cheese are huge parts of the diet. Basically, every meal was around a meat item. And I was aware at a young age of animal testing because I grew up near a Swiss city that is like the headquarter of many pharma companies. So I knew that there's animal testing that happens, and I really did not like that and often talked about it. But then I didn't really make the link to the animals that are in my plate. And it took me a longer time to understand that. And then eventually I started to see videos like Meet Your Meat and realized, oh my gosh, there's so much cruelty happening in all of that as well. And so I decided eventually to ditch meat, not really knowing what I was doing. It took me a while to even find vegetarian and vegan people around me so that I could also ask them questions and understand, what to make sure that I don't forget as a nutrient and things like that. And then I really wanted to be vegan, actually. Again, it was hard to find someone, I didn't find anyone to ask all the questions, but eventually I did find a friend when I moved to the US who was actually from Europe and told me, here's how to eat vegan. I will show you the grocery store. I'll take you to the vegan restaurants in town. And then she even encouraged me to do some volunteering for animals. And that's kind of how I started my vegan journey and my vegan volunteer journey while working in the sustainability space. And now I get to do this full time. Like my whole job is about helping animals, which is super exciting.
I love it. I'm gonna stop sharing this site for a second. I love it, and the support system in taking your steps to become vegan is very important, because that's the one thing. And I can tell you in my community, and I'm not going to speak for the whole community, but when you talk about going vegan, the first thing we're going to think of is social.
Mm-hmm.
Lose all my friends because the majority of my friends are not vegan. So now I have to go out and find this whole group of people to hang with, so you have to deal with all of that. So the support system is really important when you're navigating through this lifestyle. Some people can be moved by documentaries, just seeing something. Everyone is getting into this lifestyle in different ways. And yes, thank you for tuning in. Tom, I see you there. Happy New Year to you. Thank you for tuning in. People who aren't yet vegan can download the app. Yes, Veganuary has an app and they can download it. It's a free app and they can go to the website and get that app. Is that correct? Or is it on a Play Store? Or where?
I'm not sure which app Tom might be talking about.
Okay, Tom, can you clarify that for us? And people can host parties where vegan food is served. Yes, let us know about the app. I mean, because if you don't have one, maybe people are into the app now. Apps now. What is the history of Veganuary? Can you talk to us about that? How did Veganuary start?
Yes, it started in the UK with a couple who had been vegan, and the husband, Matthew, had really enjoyed Movember, which is, again, also like a monthly challenge, similar to this Veganuary idea of growing your mustache to raise awareness for men's health. And he and his wife Jane were like, what can we do to really make a big impact as us two individuals? And then they brainstormed and thought about this Movember idea. And then there's dry January. There's so many kind of like these challenges in the new year, and they're like, we should try one that is vegan. And then they put together vegan and January and made the word Veganuary. And they thought, let's try it and see if we can get maybe 1,000 signups the first year. And they got more than 3,000. And so pretty quickly they noticed this is bigger than we thought, and after a few years of doing it, they started to hire people. And after a few years of that, they started to notice, okay, this has also some traction abroad. Let's start to have offices, like we're all remote, so virtual offices in other countries, and they started to grow outside of the UK. And now we're like in about 15 countries. Some of them are staffed by Veganuary people. Others are partner organizations, like other animal rights or vegan organizations that are running Veganuary with us. And we have now signups from pretty much every country around the world, which is so crazy.
How is it going in the United States?
In the United States, it's growing fast. It started here in 2020. And we are very lucky. We have all the celebs, right? All the Hollywood actors in the US. And so getting a bunch of them on very early on really kickstarted it very quickly in the US. And this year specifically, there's new movement like the Baltimore Proclamation. That's the first US city that's proclaiming Veganuary, which is so exciting.
Woo! We're the first Baltimore going vegan.
Yes. And I'm so thankful for you, Naijha, for helping us with this project and sending it to the city. And also, all the awesome numbers and things that you've been doing in Baltimore, I think is also a huge reason why this proclamation also went through, because you prove, that there's vegan action in Baltimore, that there's events, that there's the restaurants participating thanks to your efforts. So it's really amazing. I'm so excited that we did this. So thank you so much. And then what else in the US? So yeah, every year we get more restaurants, more retailers, more brands to participate in new ways. And then this year we even went big and we put an ad up on Times Square to get all the millions of people who are at Times Square at the ball drop, all the millions around the world who see it, to really show. and inspire everyone to sign up. And so that was really big too.
Oh, that's major. That's major.
Yeah.
That's like a huge proclamation. Times Square and everyone going Veganuary or advocating for that through Veganuary. It's amazing. I can tell you when we started looking for different things to do in the city of Baltimore, because I love to collaborate with different partnerships. So as you know, we have Maryland Vegan Eats, and the way Maryland Vegan Eats started was because we were looking to do some vegan restaurant weeks, because you have your traditional restaurant weeks, but we were looking for a way to expose and campaign for restaurants to add new plant-based options, or just plant-based options, you know, if they didn't have any onto the menu. And I do a lot of searching for things to see who's doing what.
Yeah.
And I noticed that the UK had vegan restaurant weeks happening in the UK, but nothing was going on in the States. And that's how we connected with Golden West, Land of Kush, who I co-own and partner with my husband, Gregory Brown. We connected with Golden West, who is a veg-friendly restaurant. And we came about with Baltimore Vegan Restaurant Week. And it was such a hit. And this was in 2017. It was such a hit. People just could not get enough of it. And then it became weeks, 2 weeks, extended weeks. And then it became, okay, that's not enough. Now we got to branch out of the city and get to the state. So now we're at Maryland Vegan Restaurant Month, and we do it twice a year, in the spring, in March, and in the summer, August. So definitely I have to give you kudos, because that's what encouraged us to start. Because your vegan restaurant week out.
That's awesome. I'll have to share that with the UK team.
Yes, please. So can people sign up anytime on the website of the UK? I know it's this month, but talk to me about what happens after this month. What is the support that folks get after?
Yeah, so when you sign up, which you were showing, Naijha, on the screen, it just asks you for your name, email, and then country. And then you can select your date. So it will ask you, do you want to start today? Do you want to start January 1st, which is, the one that most people do, or just select any date? It's like on the next screen, basically. And yeah, most people do sign up in January, because that's where we have the main brand awareness, right? Like the advertising and all the action and all the restaurants participating. So there's a little more incentive to do it in January. You also get specials from different restaurants around January, but you are very welcome, everyone, to sign up afterwards, and you will get the same content, so the 31-day the daily emails, and then all the virtual cookbooks. And throughout the year, we continue working with the companies to get them, to further add more vegan options. We continue to create content and to share on social media. So all year long, there's activities happening, and it's very worth signing up at any time.
Yes,
some people also sign
up today
several times. Like they do 1 month, and then maybe they're like falling off the wagon, so they sign up again a few months later, or they do it even a few Januaries in a row, and then the third one maybe will stick. Like like you were saying, it's different for everyone. It's really nice to see.
What are some of the main reasons you find folks are signing up for Veganuary? So what are some of these reasons? Because people are going for all different types of reasons.
Yes, lots of different reasons. There's 3 main ones, and that's also the 3 pillars that our content is around. And it's health, animals, and the environment. And, health, often there's like a personal story with people, right? That maybe they find out something when they went to the doctor, or they became parents or grandparents, and they want to live longer to see their kids or grandkids grow. And then the animals, which is my reason, right? Saving animals, just being done with all that cruelty, and realizing, okay, the best way to not contribute is to stop buying animal products. And then the environmental one continues to be more and more present in people's minds, right? As the climate change continues, and there's more and more research actually on health and environmental side as well, like about this plant-based diet is the best way to to make an impact on the environment and also on health. Like there's the British Diabetes Association posted something about plant-based or vegans have been found to have less risks of having diabetes and cancers, even, and blood issue, heart issues. It's just crazy. There's so much more media out there, so people find different reasons. And as you probably know, right, everyone has like a few touch points, like different seeds in their life, and then there's just one that's like the turning point. And
Yes,
different.
mine was health. I mean, I've always been compassionate for animals. When you're thinking about our pet friends. So since I was a little child, stray dogs on the street, stray cats. I used to drive my mom nuts, and we lived in a city housing project, so you can only imagine. But I was always compassionate that way. But when I got older, the vegan influence was really because of health. My cholesterol was high, and then I learned that plants don't have cholesterol. Anything with plant-based food, whole food diets do not have cholesterol. So boom, that was the answer. And then I met my husband Gregory Brown, who was vegan already and dreaming about opening up a vegan restaurant. So boom, that was the icing on the cake. So yeah, people go vegan for all types of reasons, and we're moving into the consciousness of environmentalism. People are realizing the impact that it's making on the earth when you do not consume animal products because of the animal agriculture, the whole process that goes into it, and how it affects the ozone layer and all of that. So it really is a deep science. And folks, any contribution that you can make to stop consuming meat and dairy is going to help. Shout out to a lot of people who debate about this, but we got the Meatless Monday folks who we're in partnership with. If it's Monday, then it's Monday. Then just do it. Go Veganuary. There's so many events going on. If you follow us at Black Veg Society on the social media, I've been sharing things on the Facebook. We have our folks at Urban Life Center that are hosting a vegan challenge starting this Sunday. So you want to find out about that. There's tons of things going on. I'm going to be visiting new restaurants with the Maryland Vegan Eats team. I was at Plant Burger yesterday in Columbia at the Whole Foods getting a children's meal for my daughter. And I love the save the Bay filet. So I'm doing all of that type of stuff. We have a lot of comments coming in. Tom got back to us about apps. Oh, okay. The 21-day vegan app and yeah, there's tons of apps and things like that. I think, starting with Veganuary, focusing on signing up through there and getting all the resources. And for my folks, you got Black Veg Society. We are going to meet you where you are on your journey towards holistic health, veganism, and a plant-based lifestyle. You can always reach out to us. We can refer you and get you all the information you need and make those connections. Any suggestions?
We also have a Facebook group also for Veganuary participants that comes with the email, and you need a special code to get in the group, and then it's moderated by our team, and people can share recipes and ask questions, which is nice to make friends in some way and have a support system.
Oh, yes, absolutely. JD, thank you for your comment and question. Any suggestions on getting this in our schools January and beyond? I'm glad you said that, because I know Sandra talked about the workplace challenge kit. I know you've been trying to connect with the Office of Sustainability in Baltimore, trying to get workplace challenges. But on that front, JD, I can tell you Black Veg Society is working with organizations to get legislation passed through to get plant-based options in schools, not just in schools, more in hospitals and more in prisons. So coalitions have been formed, and we've been doing this for a couple of years. So people have to reach out to their local and state representatives in the political offices and push for this, because we do need more options, healthier options, plant-based options in schools as well as hospitals and prisons. Thank you for that.
I also have a little story there, if it helps. For the first time this year, we've had a few universities reach out and ask how can they bring Veganuary as students to their university and share with other students. So we've been piloting it this year, or we are piloting it this year with UCLA, and are looking forward to seeing how that goes. They're starting it in a few days, in the middle of January.
Oh, nice.
And so, yeah, we hope that we can even see more schools do it next year. And they're basically doing events and trying, like, giving out samples to other students, and then they have a webinar. Like, you can do so many things, and anyone is welcome to utilize Veganuary as resource. Like, you can use our logo, you can use our name, our materials, and bring it to wherever you are. You're welcome to do that. We just want everyone to be able to utilize our program.
I appreciate that, Sandra. And have you, Default Veg is also out there. Have you heard of Default Veg? I know they're working with institutions to get them to default to veg.
Yes.
Are you in partnership with them as well? Because I know we advocate, and Better Food Foundation supports us in events
Yes.
like Vegan Soul Fest, to bring, this to the community. And they have the initiative Flip It that they launched to, talk about flipping food norms. Can you talk to us? Do you have a relationship with Default Veg and the Better Food Foundation?
Yes, we have a relationship where we introduce universities to each other, or contacts, depending on when it's relevant. And so, yeah, thanks to them also, we were able to add a little part on the proclamation to encourage institutions to go plant-based by default. So that also encourages that movement, which right, you know them as well. Laura was our contact there, and then. There's another one also with cities. I'm not sure if it's Better Food Foundation or Greener by Default, because I kind of sometimes I talk to the same people for both.
Yes.
But also they work with cities as well. So we were introduced to some cities that are also interested in doing the workplace challenge, thanks to our friends there at Better Food Foundation.
Awesome. I see you, Dietrich Rush. You're from Philly, so thank you for tuning in. Big welcoming to Sandra. Dietrich is already signed up for
Nice.
Veganuary, and since it started here in the States. Yes, let us know how it's going. We appreciate it. Hi, Tina. Thanks for tuning in. It's so easy to go vegan. Just do it, right? Exactly. Just do it. Love it. Awesome. The next question I had for you, the feedback. What feedback are you receiving from participants in terms of their experience and their plans to fully be vegan? Very important, the feedback.
Yeah, so 1 month is pretty short, but we've noticed that in our surveys, which we send 2 per year, one right after and one 6 months later, we noticed that first off, 98% of participants recommend it to their friends and family, which is huge. And 28% of 2023 participants, so the year 2023 participants stayed vegan. So 28% stayed vegan after doing Veganuary. And then another 50% reduced their consumption of animal products by more than half. So more than 78% of the participants did reduce in huge ways their consumptions of animal products, which is amazing.
Nice. I love it. Tina's saying dairy kills humans and animals. It's so easy to go vegan. Download Unchained TV app. Yes, shout out to Unchained TV. It's free and fun. Thousands of vegan recipes. Yes, thousands. I mean, Landa Kush has been on there with cooking demo stuff, but on the app, there's vegan recipes and documentaries, music, protest, news. It is so amazing. Yes, you're all the voice for the voiceless. Definitely. What else do you want to say? Are there any special events that Veganuary isn't hosting anywhere?
We don't host any events ourselves since we're all remote, but we have some other people and organizations that are organizing events. Some of them we know of and others we don't know of, and we just find them, which is awesome. As said, everyone is welcome to use our materials. And so 2 of them that we know and are in touch with are the DC Veg Society is organizing a meetup on Saturday here coming up at DC Vegans and the Botanical Bar. And they're basically kicking off Veganuary and celebrating. And it's like a great a great opportunity to meet other participants and make friends. And then similarly, kind of similar concept in New York, and Pizza, which is a pizza restaurant that's adding 2 vegan pizzas in all their locations this year for Veganuary.
Nice.
They're doing a kickoff next Tuesday in New York City. I don't know if you're going to be there, Naijha. I know you're from New York.
I got my schedule is tight. I'm gonna let you know some things we're doing in Maryland, some visits, but I'll make a note of that.
I can send you the info. And
Yes,
there's
please.
like, meet and greet. Everyone's coming out for, to celebrate Veganuary basically and kick it off in New York City all together.
Well, I know here in Maryland, the Maryland Vegan Eats team talked about going down to Planta in Bethesda. So, to do a meetup. So that I think that'll be really cool. I love Planta. I've been there a couple of times.
And isn't your restaurant also doing something this weekend?
Yes, thank you. Because I don't want to just self-promote, but anyway, thank you for reminding me. Land of Kush is celebrating 13 years in business, 13 long years. And anyone in the food service business knows that this is not an easy business. It comes with its challenges. And the post-COVID inflation is really serious. So we appreciate your support. Come down January 6th, this Saturday. We're going to unveil our resident artists. We have a press release out. You can follow us at the Land of Kush on social media, and you can find out all about it. But we'll have specials. We'll be sharing new things. So it's this Saturday. We're celebrating our 13th year anniversary. It's just time flies. I remember when it was just yesterday when we were struggling to get the store open. And we're opening up a second location really soon. So that announcement is coming, a larger location in the east side of Baltimore. So we're so excited about that because we need more room in our space and we just don't have it. We can't just expand. So we're going to be doing a lot of things. So more to come on that.
That's amazing. I wish I was still in the East Coast. I now live on the West Coast, but I used to live I lived in Baltimore for a little while as a student, and then I lived in Norfolk, Virginia. So now there's all these events happening on the East Coast in those cities that I used to hang out in, and I'm like,
you got to come up. Let me know when you're coming because as Tom is saying, Land of Kush is the top tourist attraction in Baltimore. We're just a small mom and pop shop. We're not a fine dining establishment. It's fast casual. It's small. But we win a lot of awards because we promote vegan soul, the ultimate vegan soul food experience. When you're thinking about art, when you're thinking about people, when you're thinking about culture, all of that type of stuff, we've been awarded as a top tourist attraction in Baltimore. Would you like me to read some of the proclamation? Do you want to share reading too? Do you have it in front of you?
I have it too, but yeah, I'd love to. I was going to ask you if we can look at it.
Yeah, absolutely. We can't leave without reading the proclamation.
It's amazing. And again, I want to thank Laura also, who helped us from Greener by Default with the text here, because she's been able to do some of these proclamations in the past. So, when I worked on drafting this one with you, Naijha, I was like, Laura, do you want to take a look? Can you help us with figuring out what's the best way to write some of these things? So
absolutely,
it's amazing.
It's helped before for Maryland Vegan Eats, Vegan Restaurant Month. I think we should do line by line. I take a line, you take a line. How about that? You want to do it that way?
Good.
Thank you for the congrats. Baltimore, Maryland is committed to fostering a resilient, sustainable, and healthy community for its citizens. And
whereas research shows that animal agriculture is a leading contributor of climate changing gases and a key driver of deforestation and species loss. According to the United Nations, plant-based foods generally use less energy, land, and water and have lower greenhouse gas intensities than animal-based foods. And
whereas a global shift toward plant-forward eating is critical to mitigate the worst impacts of climate change, according to a recent IPCC report. And
whereas heart disease, stroke, diabetes are among the leading causes of death in Baltimore, Maryland, and beyond. And
whereas research has repeatedly shown that vegans have reduced risk of the world's biggest killers, including heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and obesity. And
Whereas animals raised for food are often caged, overcrowded, and denied their natural needs in today's factory farms. And
Whereas Baltimore's diverse restaurants, grocers, and farmers markets are increasingly delivering vibrant, healthy, plant based foods. And
whereas Baltimore's Vegan Salt Fest, Naijha, continues to have an exceptional number of attendees, 16,000 in 2023.
And whereas Baltimore's diverse restaurants, okay, well, this is again, we got to repeat it another time so you get it in for the people in the back. Diverse restaurants, grocers, and farmers markets are increasingly delivering vibrant, healthy, plant-based foods. And
whereas Veganuary encourages and supports people and businesses alike to move to a plant-based diet as a way of protecting the environment, preventing animal suffering, and improving the health of millions of people.
therefore, I'm speaking on behalf of Brandon M. Scott, Mayor of the City of Baltimore, do hereby proclaim the month of January as Veganuary in Baltimore and urge residents, restaurants, retailers, and institutions to explore and continue to add plant-based options by default. So it has been signed, Veganuary, January 1st to the 31st. Please go out and support. Go vegan. Support your restaurants, your retailers, your grocers. Can we do makeup and stuff like that? Have we been adding like things like vegan makeup, vegan apparel, stuff like that?
Yes, yeah, there's also a bunch of those businesses celebrating as well. Veganuary's content is more about eating vegan, but we also encourage every brand to celebrate Veganuary and continue to be add vegan options or go vegan as a company.
I love it. Sandra, it's been a pleasure. Is there anything else that you want to add before we leave? I'm waiting for my next guest. I have Jessica Cruz of Vegan Street Fair who's supposed to join me. We'll see how that goes. But anything else that you want to talk about? And then I'll just cut to commercial.
Just thanking you again so much for making this huge thing happen. This is like one of the top highlights of this year's program in the US, that thanks to you, we have a city that proclaimed Veganuary. It's huge, and it's a big city. It's the city of Baltimore is a big city. And, they put so many things in this text. And as you said, like, especially like urging everyone basically to participate and to change towards the plant-based. It's amazing. It means so much. So thank you so much for helping us with this and making it happen. And thank you also for having me. And I hope we'll get lots and lots more people from Baltimore to go vegan and participate in Veganuary.
Yes, shout out again to Mayor Brandon M. Scott. He's been so supportive of Black Veg Society and its initiatives, be it Vegan Soul Fest, Maryland Vegan Restaurant Month, and now this partnership with Veganuary. Baltimore is definitely set to, go vegan. So, yes. And we hope that support remains as we work through the next administration, be it him or a new mayor. So it is important that we receive this support on local and state level. Shout out to Visit Maryland as well. They also support us on our vegan initiatives. Definitely got to shout out the state support.
Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, so much is happening. I need to come visit and check it all out.
Yes. If you're just listening or tuning in, you are tuning into Naijha Speaks. Naijha Speaks is a project of Black Veg Society where we are meeting people where they are on their holistic health, vegan, and plant-based journey. Please like, subscribe, share, support, donate at blackvegsociety.org. I'm going to go back to the commercial.
Meeting you where you are. The meaning behind the slogan is that we meet the community where they are on their journey towards holistic health, a plant-based lifestyle, and veganism, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. We do this through people, food, events, and culture. Our 6 pillars are earth, eating, education, empowerment, enlightenment, and events. We are Black Veg Society.
All right. Well, I'm waiting for Jessica. I haven't seen Jessica yet, but it's been a pleasure, Sandra, and hopefully we can connect in the future. Happy Veganuary to everyone. Please go vegan this January. Follow us at Black Veg Society and follow We Are Veganuary for all the things that they are doing this month. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much. Bye, Naijha. Bye, everyone.
Okay, folks, we are going to Jessica was supposed to come on for Vegan Street Fair. I'm trying to see if I can get her looped in because she has some important things that she wants to talk about. I think I have a message and okay. I think she's having an issue logging in. Just give me a second. Okay, Jessica is trying to log in. Just let me get her the link and then we can get her on because I don't want to miss out on this. Uh, we have an important thing to talk about on the vegan street fair. So please just bear with me because we're going to get her in now. Give me 1 second. All right, let's see. We got, okay. She's got the link. We're going to get her in. Sorry about that. Okay. So she should be able to get in on that link. All right. There's some more comments that came in as we're waiting for Jessica to log on. I bet I bet the Land of Kush has the top crab cakes in Baltimore. Well, PETA voted in 2018. Crab cakes was award-winning dish, and also the Baltimore Sun. So we're glad that folks like the crab cakes. I like the crab cakes. I love the crab cakes on a top of kale salad or with the sesame spinach. Really good, and you got to try it with the vegan tartar sauce. So great. Tom says middle age for vegans is 77. Yeah, I was just talking about Chef Babette the other day. Like, she's in her 70s and she just looks gorgeous for her age. And I'm like, I have goals. I just started working out the beginning of last month, and I got my 21 habits in, so I'm already revved up. I was revved up before the new year. So she is really an inspiration. I love Chef Babette. She just, she's vegan. She promotes vegan. She is vegan, all of that. So I love her. What else do we have? Okay, more segments. Yes, Tom, we're going to get to the segments. Thank you for that. Jessica's coming. There was something wrong, I guess, with the link on her end. So I'm hoping that she can get in. I just sent her the link and it seems to be working. So we're just waiting for Jessica. Oh, there she goes. There she goes. I love it. Yeah, you see, I couldn't drop off, Jessica. I'm like, what do you mean? What were you pressing? Anyway, it's Jessica Cruz.
Hi, everybody. Yay. We did it.
You're pretty good. You know what? Everyone waited, okay? It's Jessica Cruz. I gotta get you a proper welcome here. But in the meantime, please tell us, what is Vegan Street Fair?
Thank you so much for having me. Always some technical difficulties. Vegan Street Fair is a vegan event that spans the nation. It's free entry. It's all about good food, good energy, good vibes. We cater mostly to non-vegans, believe it or not, even though it's called Vegan Street Fair. Our whole entire goal is to get as many non-vegans as possible to experience the vegan lifestyle through food and just good people, and walk away feeling like, wow, this is vegan. I can do vegan. So we are now in 2024, which I'm sure we're going to talk about. We are now going to be in 13 cities in 2024, which is bananas. We did 8 cities last year for the first time. Sorry, go ahead.
I said bananas. Yeah.
I know. I don't know if I'm just crazy or delusional or both,
not.
but
yeah. I'm sharing the website here.
Okay, perfect.
What's the history? What is the history? Because I talked to you in when we were in the beginning of the pandemic. It was late May of 2020. I had you and Adewale on, the founder of Black Veg Fest, and we were talking about festival organizing. And look, we're in 2024 now. What is the history of this vegan street fair?
So we started in 2015 was our first event. We wanted to do something that was free to the public, something that was all about food, because in LA, there were no other free festivals at all. It was all paid entry events at that time. There were only two. And so when we came out, I wanted to do something that was familiar to me. I grew up in New York. I grew up on street fairs. They just popped up out of nowhere. And you were a part of the culture as soon as you stepped on the floor. And that was the whole point with what I tried to do with Vegan Street Fair. It was like, you don't have to be vegan to enjoy this. You can be vegan if you want, but come, you're welcome. We want you here. And so when we started in 2015, there were 10,000 people on the street in our very first event in Los Angeles. It still blows my mind to this day. It also rained and hailed, which I guess is a good sign of luck, because we're still standing and still here and still doing this incredible work. So it's really just something that I think spawned from like my upbringing, my childhood, and also just wanting to give people as much veganism as possible that is free and you don't have to pay an entry ticket to, not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just not how I wanted to do things. I wanted it to be as accessible as it could be.
That is amazing, because people love free. And when we decided to upgrade Vegan Soul Fest to a vegan food and music festival, that free went out the door. We're talking about, this is a heavy budget and we want headliners and we want this and we want that. So, but people still like free. So very important. So your mission for the Vegan Street Fair is to reach non-vegans. Was that the mission, or what is the mission?
The mission is absolutely, it's to mainstream veganism as much as possible. So for us, I tell this to people all the time. I don't care about vegans. I don't care, no disrespect to all the vegans in the world, but I don't care about people like me. We can go to a gas station and find vegan things. I'm not worried about us. It's the people who don't have access or experience with veganism that is my target demographic. I want people to show up, try something delicious, realize that it's not salad and tofu and that we're not all crazy people, that we look like them, that we cook like them, that the food can taste like the things that they've grown up with, so that maybe we put a few seeds. I consider this work, I use this term a lot and I probably should stop doing it because I should trademark it. But I call this veganception, which is you come to this event, you experience something fantastic, and maybe you walk away with this seed that I've planted, maybe, I don't know. And you think to yourself, wow, I had a great experience. Maybe I'll go research a little bit more on plant-based proteins. Maybe I'll start subbing out my cheeses. Maybe I will think about the cosmetics that I buy and maybe not testing them on animals. And then eventually, if you go vegan, I don't care why you do it, but maybe I vegan-cepted you at some point in time. And if I didn't, that's okay. But even if you just try something vegan for the day and you're just like eating all plant-based and saving animals for one day, that's really the goal. The goal is just to make little impacts along the way that I think make bigger impacts in the grand scheme of things when you look at the big picture.
Right, exactly. I'm all for that. And yeah, you have to meet people where they are and make it fun and edutaining. What is your vegan story, Jessica? Because when I saw you first, you were beautiful, but you were different. You look different.
I was different.
Talk to us. What's your vegan story, and what have you been up to?
Oh my goodness, so many things. So I started down this plant-based journey, this vegan journey in 2010. I was before I had my children. I was a fit person. I had discovered it through SeaWorld. I went to SeaWorld, swam with the dolphins, took photos and videos, and shared it with my Facebook community. And there was this one guy, I'll never forget it. He's not vegan by any means, but he was like, hey, I don't know if you know this, but those animals don't want to be there. And I was like, that's not true. SeaWorld does great things. What are you talking about? I'm going to prove you wrong. So I spent like the whole day just Googling marine parks and what happens to animals in those enclosures and how they're treated. And man, within like 20 minutes, I was a bawling mess, because you can't unsee the things that you see, especially when you're looking for the information yourself. I researched it up and down. I realized how much those animals are put on antidepressants. They're completely depressed. They try to kill themselves while they're in their enclosures by ramming their heads against the walls. It is absolutely brutal what they do to them. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I don't want to get into the nitty gritty, but that's why I went vegan. So I went vegan in 2010. I went back home to New York for about 4 months to finish my degree at NYU. And while I was there, I was like, I want to try everything vegan, like as many vegan things as I possibly can. And at that time in 2010, the apps weren't really doing it. Like the apps would send me on a train, on a subway for like 45 minutes to a closed location. And I'd be so upset. I would be so upset.
I hate that.
Wow, right? It's like, not only am I hangry, but like I was really looking forward to this. And that was 45 minutes of my time there and now 45 minutes back. Really frustrated. So I made the choice, even though I am not an app developer by any means, that I was going to make my own app. I don't know. So 3 years, I was developing an app for this specific subject, something that was user generated, something that could be upkept, something that wouldn't send people to closed locations. Because to me, it was like, if I'm trying to help people go vegan and discover vegan things, I want to make sure that the platforms that we use are acceptable, that they're efficient, that they work. So after 3 years, that app just went away and disappeared. And long story short, I started my vegan street fair journey and I became a mom 2 times over. And I discovered vegan food. Yes, I discovered vegan food. And at the time when I was pregnant with my first son, I was very fit. I used to be a personal trainer. I had my son. I went right back down to my pre-baby weight really quickly. But then I discovered food in the process of becoming a vegan event organizer and wanting to eat all of the food imaginable under the sun. Over 10 years, I gained 80 pounds.
Wow.
And that was while I was vegan. And that's one of the things that I think is a misconception for people. People think that veganism is a health thing. Now, you can go plant-based for health for sure. But veganism, as you know, and I'm sure you talk about this at length, veganism is not about health. It has health benefits,
Right.
for sure.
Right.
But it is about animal liberation at the end of the day. And just like any liberation movement, you don't have to look a certain way to show up to liberate animals, right? We don't require people to look a certain way to fight for LGBTQ rights. We don't require people to look a certain way to fight for women's rights. Why on earth do we require people to be thin and fit and healthy to fight for animals? That's where the misconception comes into play. And so it's a thing that I like to talk about a lot. But anyway, all that being said, gained 80 pounds, was still very vegan. And then finally in 2020, during COVID, I made the choice to stop being that way because I just was very unhappy, and it had very little to do with other people and how they saw me, and so much more to do with me and my mental health and how I felt inside of my skin. So I started more of a whole food plant-based journey. I worked out twice a day. Don't recommend that, by the way. And 10 months later, I lost 80 pounds. So I did look different when I first met you. I was still very vegan at that time because vegans come in all shapes and sizes, as we all know. But I just feel a little bit more in line and in alignment with who I am on the inside, with, you know, a little bit more of a balance with what I'm consuming.
Thank you for sharing that, Jessica. That's very important because, you know, I'm always cyclical when it comes to working out and getting back. And you know, when it's time, everyone has their own preference and their own reason for working out or not working out. So this is my story and my reason. If I feel I'm getting to a certain weight, it is time to bring it down and bring it off and get sculpted. And for your brain, if I'm getting that brain fog, if there's been a lot of things going on, which there has been a lot of things going on in the past couple of years, I'm getting back in the gym. And I started in December, and now I'm good. It's a whole nother mindset. I was out there 5:30 in the morning the other day going to a class, a high intensity, you know, it's a totally different mindset. And now I feel different. I feel clearer. I feel stronger. I'm ready to go, ready for action. So thank you for that.
I love to hear that.
Some of the weight, then I'll be, you know, even more so to the goal. But it's all about that mental clarity and getting those endorphins and all of that stuff running so you can think clearer and better. Let's talk about we know the attendees are having a good time because it's free. They have all these options. What made you take the street fair on tour, and how has that experience been? That's what I want to hear.
Oh my God. It has been up and down and all around. Let me tell you something. We our very first event that we had scheduled was Miami. We had to cancel it because my event manager at the time just made some gross errors, and we had to reschedule that one. So that was our first go at our tour outside of LA.
Wait,
Not
you
my
said you're an
favorite.
event manager? To say that again,
Yeah.
an event manager? Is this a professional one or just a volunteer?
No, not a volunteer. We don't do volunteers. I hire people, but he was clearly not very skilled.
I
It is what
remember
it
you
is.
saying that in your first interview. You hire
Yeah.
people. Okay, go on.
Yeah. Yeah. So then our second event was in New York, and it was pouring rain, cats and dogs, unlike anything I have seen. I mean, look, my very first event in LA I already shared, it rained and hailed. I don't like doing events in the rain. Nobody does. When I was in New York, it was pouring rain, and I'm standing out there with this rain coming down on me. At first, it was okay, and then later on, I started to really feel depressed.
I
I
remember that. I
cried.
remember that.
Yeah,
I couldn't make it out there for some. There was a conflict or something, but I remember that.
yeah. I cried a lot that day because it just felt like I was letting people down. How do you let people down with the weather? It's not your fault, right? But still, you feel like if the weather was what it was, all of the vendors would have crushed. And a lot of vendors did sell out in New York, which was fantastic, which tells me that when we come back and it's better weather, we're going to be good to go. And then from there, we did Atlanta, and Atlanta was gangbusters. We had a great time out there. The vendors did great. Lines, fantastic. A little hot that day. Our next event after that was Seattle. And let me tell you something. I am so glad that I chose Seattle on the 2023 tour because I had a lot of people being like, why not Portland? Well, Portland's already very vegan. Portland doesn't need it. People like, or places like Seattle need it because they're already a little bit of a mecca. People are hungry for it, and Seattle showed out. Seattle was our second largest market in the whole entire tour, which we're just so grateful for. After that, the Bay Area was the third largest. It was bonkers. And then from there, I found out that I had breast cancer on September 1st, just like 6 days after that event. So I'm just giving you the timeline now of how things
Yeah,
transpired for
no.
this tour.
Thank
Because
you. That's a lot.
it's a part of it. It's a part of the story, right?
Right.
So I find out I have breast cancer. I have to go through a double mastectomy. I had to cancel Denver, which was scheduled for September, which was a heartbreak. And then I still tried to go forward and do my next 3 events. And so I did Las Vegas. Las Vegas was absolutely terrible. I will never go back to that city, sadly. Sorry, Las Vegas.
Oh, wow. I love Las Vegas. Oh,
Listen to me. It wasn't it if I showed you the messages that people were leaving about the event beforehand because they were upset that I didn't share the location earlier. It's like, what do you care? Book the date. You don't need the location until you're sitting in your car putting your navigation in, right? Everybody in Las Vegas and the vegan community knew that we were coming, and they purposefully did not show up. Purposefully did not show up because they were upset that I hadn't announced the location sooner. So the comments were, and I share this very openly because honestly, people need to understand that I'm a person and that
yes.
this really happened to me.
Yes.
People in Las Vegas legitimately in comments said in the Vegas Facebook groups and what have you, I understand that she has cancer, but blah, blah, blah. What? How is there even a but at the end of that sentence? Do you understand what I had to go through? I went through a double mastectomy.
They don't.
No, they don't.
At all.
No. And I think I still have trauma from it. And I think I'll have PTSD from that for a while. And I don't mean to bring down the energy here, but this is the reality.
Relate. There's a lot of we doing and you're doing a whole tour. So I can only imagine we're just dealing with Baltimore City.
Listen. I sit back sometimes that those comments haunt me. They haunt me because it just shows me that we think that vegans are the most compassionate people on the planet because that's what we supposedly say that we are. But I will tell you firsthand that vegans can be the most hateful and awful people, just like anybody else. The fact that anyone could state the words, I understand that she has cancer, but me, what about me, tells me everything I need to know about who I associate with. And sometimes, I used to be vegan first. I used to be like, I'm vegan. No.
No, I'm
I'm
not the first. Forget all of that.
that part.
Vegan is probably the way down. I am not your first, and I practice ahimsa. So I'm telling this is that live broadcast. I am not your first, and I practice ahimsa. Thank you very much. I promote
Right.
veganism, holistic health, and the plant-based diet in the BIPOC community. Okay.
Hey, put that on a shirt. Put that on a shirt, please. I love that. Exactly, because honestly speaking, and it's really sad to say, and I don't say this to castigate every single vegan, but I say this because I want people to understand that there is a way to do this that makes you puts you in alignment with the values that you claim to purport to follow.
Right.
And what I'm describing that came out of Vegas was 1000% not that. And I think that we can do a lot in the community simply by adding more compassion to our daily lives, treating people like people, and not just hiding behind screens and saying really hateful and hurtful things.
Right.
That will haunt me for the rest of my life.
Right.
During the worst time of my entire life.
Yes, Tina, that's right. Because I've been very disappointed with some of the stuff that goes on in the vegan community, especially being Black and Latino. Okay, so you already know racism, classism, colorism, all of them isms is unacceptable in my world from the vegan community. Okay, so, and we got a lot of these folks out there that I'm just not impressed with. and that's just me, take it as you want it. F your feelings. I was just looking at a video today that was like, F your feelings. This is what this is about. We need to show some real compassion and action and stop being selfish, because that's what I see out there. There's a lot of selfishness out there, lack of collaboration, people focusing on their own personal agendas, and other people are suffering because of it. Not just the animals, people and human beings and their feelings and their emotions, and it has to stop. New year, new me. It's 2024, and I'm just not having it anymore.
Whoa, shut up. Listen, everybody out there listening to this sermon, okay? Please understand.
Let's talk eco. The ecosystem versus the system. Talk about it, sis. What else you been going through?
Oh my gosh. It's wild, because that's the point, right? What we do as event organizers is all about the big picture. It's all about how we can take a platform that we've built and created to create opportunities, especially for BIPOC communities that are small businesses. That's what I do. That's my entire mission in life. What I do with Vegan Street Fair is what I do with Vegan Street. Okay, I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. You guys are timing here. What I do is I assist people that look like us, people that don't have the same opportunities as the folks that go out to Coachella and the folks that have more money in the bank. These are small businesses. And I come through with my large scale festival one time a year to infuse the vegan community one time, so that those vendors can have a nest egg, so that they can utilize that momentum to keep going along their journey. Because I know, just like we are watching a lot of vegan businesses close. It is breaking my heart. I can't believe it's happening, but I will say this, in my vegan events, I'm not seeing that. So when I come into town with an event like I did in the Bronx in New York, there was an event that sprouted up right after us. And I know that it sprouted up because of us, because they saw that the market was there. It was the Bronx night market, or the vegan night market. That's what it was, on Tuesdays in Central Park. Popped up right after us. And that is the whole point. We show up, we show you that there's a market, we infuse the vegan community, right? The vegan economy, and we give these vendors an opportunity to keep going and to sustain their business along the route. I don't know why any other event organizers wouldn't be keen to that or open to that or want that, but I will say this, to your point, Naijha, to your point, ego sometimes gets in the way, because I have had DMs and I have had other event organizers tell me, They don't want me in their city.
Yeah.
These are large scale event organizers
Yeah.
where they are like, why are you coming here? What, you should have asked me first. I'm sorry. Are you the mayor of vegan events all of a sudden? I don't understand. And I can assure you that if anybody heard these event organizers and what they were saying, they would be really pissed off at these events. And I'm not going to ever name names, but I will say, if I'm not coming to a city, chances are, number one, it's because they basically pushed me out of it, or I am coming to a city and they're upset about it. And I've just said, F it. I'm not going to fight you. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm actually helping you. And if you can't see that, that's unfortunate for you. In Seattle, I worked with 2 events. Bellingham Veg Fest and the vegan night market up there. Veggies Do It Better. They came out. They had booths. They had space. We promoted the hell out of them. We did that together because to me, collaboration over competition is the way that you're able to take vegan events to the next level. It is not ego based. It is not I'm better than you. It is not you're not allowed here. What are you talking about? This is how we grow the vegan economy. It's not allow
the economy in general.
For you.
The economy in general, because if you're bringing people in the city and they're traveling, like, you know, we experienced that last year with Vegan Fest. We had so many, the venue couldn't even accommodate everyone that came, and then people couldn't eat food because the vendors couldn't keep up with the demand, and people just ate all around, and the hotels were all filled up and you know, it's helping the economy. And I think what happens is this selfish mindset of not collaborating and always thinking something is competitive because it's in your individual mind that it's a competition is really a mental illness in my vocabulary. It's a mental illness. There's enough for everyone out there. Now, if you going into, like what I do, if I go into the area, if I connect, I'm going to connect with the people that are there. If they want me there, cool. If they don't, we still, somebody there is going to want to collaborate on something, and we're just going to make it happen. That's pretty much how that goes. Because you're here to help. You're here to help the people that need the help. Vendors want the event. Vendors want the event. Yes. Thank you, Paige. There's enough of everything. Absolutely. Now, Dee wants to know about Philly. Is Philly going to have...
Oh, wait. Did I lose you? Oh, no. I don't know if I'm still here. I can't tell. Oh, there we go.
No, don't worry. Don't get nervous. I got excited and it just kicked me out. I was trying to get to Deke's message about the Philly. Okay, what's going on with Philly?
Philly's not on our list this year. Philly is not on our list this year.
Why? Philly just speak, because I think they're losing the Natural Food Expo. I don't know if it's going to be there this year. I think they're going to just stick to West Coast. So, you know, what's happening out in Philly that it can't be in Philly?
The only way Philly will be on the list is if you nominate Philly on the last contest. So we're doing a contest. For those of you who don't know, we've just announced 6 new cities. I don't know if anybody's seen that. We announced Chicago, Indianapolis, Minneapolis. I can't even remember them all right now, but our last one is being announced tomorrow. And after that, we're announcing a nominate your city bid, which is kind of like the Olympics, like the people who bid for the Olympics to come to their city. You can bid for Vegan Street Fair to come to your city. Philly is not on the official list, but it can be if it gets voted on. We did not choose it because we just didn't choose it.
Okay, so they don't want you there. That's what it sounds like. Because you know, if folks wanted you there, you would be there. So, Deke, that's what the issue is. You know, Philly, I guess, doesn't want the street fair there because of whatever reasons. Anywho, Paige, thank you for that again. The competition versus collaboration. We should all, as a matter of fact, I had Keith Tucker on the show last week, and he talked about that from an old segment that we were all on. Collaboration and partnerships, strategic partnerships are key. You can't do everything yourself. Everyone wants to be the chief of the Indians. You know what I'm saying? We have all these, like, everyone can lead in a project. You know, let's talk about the DMV. If you have any ideas where you want to go, what's going on with DC? Can we get it to DC?
DC was on the list originally, and then several of the vendors were like, I hadn't done well in DC, so we took it off.
They
Unfortunately,
haven't
it was
done
on there.
well in DC. Are you
That's
serious?
what we were told. That's what we were told. Yeah. So we backed out. It was on the list though. It was.
What about Virginia?
Virginia was not on the list. You know, I was born in Virginia. Virginia's not on the list.
We got to find a place in Virginia too. Like, you know what? We're offline. We're gonna have me and Jessica are gonna have a conversation because we need to collaborate on what the next big street fair needs to be and where. Because there's just a lot of. But you need some. I got a call the other day from one of the vendors that you have and has vended at Vegan Soul Fest, and the DMV or East Coast needs another one somewhere. Definitely, I can agree.
We got Pittsburgh. We got New York.
What is Pittsburgh? Let me bring the site up. Let's go through the list. Yeah. Maybe before we get off, let's go through that list.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, look, Pittsburgh is on there. So, you know, you can go to, there you go.
Okay, let's walk through the dates because I don't want people, okay, folks, veganstreetfair.com. So you're starting with where you're going to be at in Hollywood, March 22nd, right? Yeah. LA, correct. Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. Then in Phoenix is April 20th.
Yes.
Damn, and you're back in the Bronx, and it's always when the Ava Summit is, and I'm at the. I hate when this happens. I think that was the issue last year.
Oh man,
it's like I gotta go. And that's my hometown, man. Like that weekend. There's always one day I'm gonna have to miss Ava. You know, it's just I didn't work with them, so but I gotta make it to the Bronx. That's my home. Pittsburgh, right. June 1st. Awesome. I might be able to do that one. I haven't been to Pittsburgh. I might need to step down. And then I'm overdue for Atlanta. Atlanta looks real good, June 15th and 16th. And I like that it's 2 days. This is why we got to talk. We got support from the state of Maryland. If you make it a 2-day event and get the hotels involved, they will support this. Okay.
We got to talk about it. We're going to talk. We're going to talk.
Indiana, June 29th. Okay. I haven't been to Indianapolis. Chicago. I haven't been to Chicago, and that's like near my husband's birthday. We might have to do that. Vegan in Chicago. Looks good.
Let's go.
We got a new restaurant opening in here over Atlantic Kush on the east side. So hopefully everything will be cool. I can get them out to Chicago. That'd be nice.
Oh, I love that.
And July 20th, Minneapolis. That's Princetown. Right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Ooh, that's sweet, y'all. Look at this. Seattle. I'm supposed to get out to Seattle. I got to talk to Keith.
Seattle was a good one.
Yeah.
Seattle was a good one. I'm telling you. Don't miss that one.
Anyway, did you reach out to him? See,
Keith? No.
No, we got to get him off. He's got the vegan movement on the hip hop tip. Maybe he can do something over there. The area. Okay, that's Cali, August 25th. We got to see because we don't know what's going on with Vegan Soul Fest right now, but that's usually around that time, so we'll see. Saturday, the September 21st, Secret City. See this? I need to find out. That's a good date right there. That's good. And then Austin, Texas. I might do that one. My sister lives in San Antonio. I might be able to get out to that one. We'll see.
Yes.
Everybody, looks good. Jessica, you're doing a damn thing. I'm so proud of you. You are making the ish happen.
Thank you. I appreciate you, girl.
Someone wants me to post the link. Okay, it's veganstreetfair.com. Find out all the dates because I'm trying to map out how I'm going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You got all your dates.
Yeah. So, ego versus ego system for the 2024 agenda, folks. Stop it with the nonsense. It's about collaboration, not competition. You are missing out on your blessings because of all of this competitive mindset and unwillingness to collaborate. How can we best connect with you, Jessica?
You can DM the Vegan Street Fair. It's me. You can email us at Vegan Street Fair. Any way that you can contact us. I love you, Paige. Any way you can contact us is me. So feel free to DM, email. I also have a personal page if you want to hit me there. It's Jessica Amy Cruz. And I'd love to chat with anybody who's got, thoughts, ideas, or whatever. I really am about collaboration over competition. It is my mantra in life. I think that We're a really small community as it is, and we have to help each other. We don't really have a choice. We cannot survive alone. We are not islands. It's not possible. So many people do this. So many people collaborate. And when you really think about it, this is a scarcity mindset that keeps people from realizing what their potential is when they band together. I don't do that. I'm an abundance person. So ideas, hit me with them. Hit me. Yes. You know how it goes. And that's why I love doing this, because to me, it's like we are all doing the same thing and we're doing it from different angles. There's no way that you're going to be able to do what you're trying to do by yourself. You cannot do it. Maybe you can do it, but it's really lonely. And you're going to get there eventually, but you can get there so much faster with the right people in place, because people understand ego versus eco, right? People understand that as a unit, as a team, we're stronger together. A rising tide lifts all boats. And that, to me, is the 2024 energy. If you're not coming with that type of energy in 2024, just leave it away. I don't want it. I don't need it. I'm out here in abundance.
Yeah, you keep going. And thank you, Dee Rush. Much success to you, Jessica, and all of your vegan street fair events. Thank you for the blessings, Tina. Yes, vegans must work together. And Paige, yes, lots of success and awards for Land of Kush. Yes, keep them coming. We need your support. Definitely. I see restaurants closing left and right. Vegan restaurants need your support. So please come down to Land of Kush this Saturday. We're celebrating 13 years of business. Please support us. We're going to need it for the new, larger location. And this is a tough hustle right here. Unchained TV is the only group that doesn't judge and is helping us. Okay, download the app. Go to unchainedtv.com. Shout out to Jane Velez Mitchell, who I am a contributor to her voice for the voiceless network. So love it, love it, love it. I appreciate it. Anything else before we go?
No, that's it. I think you said it all. Support your vegan, all the vegan efforts that you see, from the small pop-ups to the weekly events to 13 years. Congratulations. By the way, incredible, amazing. I still have to make it out there. Lord knows. I wish I could clone myself at this time, but support as much as you can. Sometimes it doesn't need to be monetary support either. Sharing things on social media, commenting.
This is
just
support.
engaging with as many vegan businesses and brands as you can, because that keeps us going. You want to see it around. Yeah, you have to support, and it doesn't always mean money. It sometimes just means showing up in a way that is impactful. And so we all have time for that.
Thank you. And thank you again, Tina. It's free app. Download it now and support Unchained TV app. And I'm going to leave us out with the commercial again, because we are fundraising for 2024 events. So please, once again, tune in to NaijhaSpeaks.com, subscribe, like, share, and comment. Support BlackVegSociety.org, because Naijha Speaks is a project of Black Veg Society, where we're meeting people where they are on their holistic health, vegan, and plant-based journey. And on
Meeting you where you are. The meaning behind the slogan is that we meet the community where they are on their journey towards holistic health, a plant-based lifestyle, and veganism, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. We do this through people, food, events, and culture. Our 6 pillars are earth, eating, education, empowerment, enlightenment, and events. We are Black Veg Society.
All right. Veganuary. Everyone go vegan in January. Baltimore has been proclamated the first city. Thank you, Mayor Brandon Scott.